Most homeowners accept the doorways the builder gives them, never realizing that standard dimensions dictate the flow, budget, and potential of their entire house. Sticking to these defaults keeps your renovation budget perfectly predictable, but it severely caps what your space can actually become. This diagram maps the 4 foundational interior door dimensions. First, the main entryway baseline, 7 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Next, the bedroom standard drops a ½ foot in width. Then, the restricted bathroom door squeezes down to 2 feet. Finally, the 8x5 double door upgrade. We're going to evaluate exactly what these 4 dimensions cost you and where you should save your money with standard framing versus paying for custom sizing. Let's start with the practical reality of that standard 3-foot width for main passageways. It guarantees you have the clearance to actually get standard furniture deliveries into your house without taking the hinges off. It also ensures perfect compatibility with any off-the-shelf smart lock hardware you want to install. But the central trade-off is visual. A standard door fails to provide any real architectural grandeur. Capping your entryway at a 7-foot height physically compresses the perceived scale of the room, especially when compared to oversized luxury alternatives. High-end builders view 7x3 as merely a starting point, something to be scaled up immediately. Ultimately, keeping the standard main door is a decision optimized entirely for practical logistics, not aesthetic impact. Moving into the private spaces, builders consistently downsize to a 2.5-foot width for bedrooms. This top-down schematic shows why. Linear wall space reclamation. Dropping that ½ foot saves exactly 6 inches of wall space on the interior. Those reclaimed 6 inches mean you can place a dresser or a nightstand tight in the corner without blocking the door swing. The first major trade-off is friction. You will fight to get a king-sized mattress through this narrow frame. The second trade-off is accessibility. 2.5 feet provides the absolute bare minimum clearance for a standard walker or mobility aid. Operating at the bare minimum means you have effectively removed any future-proofing for that room. The bedroom door forces a direct choice. Maximize your internal wall space today, or ensure long-term accessibility for tomorrow. Then we hit the smallest standard dimension in the house, the highly restricted 2-foot bathroom door. The logic here is straightforward. You maximize usable square footage in a tight bathroom and prevent the door from slamming into the vanity. But look at this clearance schematic comparing a 2-foot opening to a standard wheelchair. It reveals a severe, mathematically impossible bottleneck. A 2-foot frame strictly prohibits wheelchair access and makes the space feel inherently cramped, whereas bumping to 3 feet resolves the collision. While this tight frame solves immediate vanity spacing issues, it is a definitive failure for inclusive home design. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the high-end alternative, upgrading to an 8-foot-tall, 5-foot-wide double door. This instantly elevates the spatial perception of the room, creating seamless, open transitions between your living areas. But the structural trade-off is steep. You are consuming massive amounts of otherwise usable wall space to accommodate the double swing. The financial trade-off hits just as hard, requiring custom framing, oversized hardware, and much more complex installation labor. The double door is the ultimate architectural flex. You trade wall space and budget to gain maximum visual flow. Before you frame a single wall, look at this decisional flowchart and identify your primary renovation constraint. If you are the budget-conscious renovator, you commit strictly to 7-foot heights across the board. This completely avoids custom millwork costs. You sacrifice some architectural character, but you protect your project timeline and your wallet. If you are optimizing for accessibility, you upgrade all interior doors to a 3-foot minimum width. You will sacrifice a bit of internal floor space, but you guarantee the home is ready for aging in place. Finally, the luxury builder scales single doors up to 8 feet and deploys 8x5 double doors for main transitions. This strategy pulls the home completely out of builder-grade territory, but it strictly requires ceilings of 9 feet or higher to maintain visual proportion. Standard door sizes are not mandates. They are choices in a continuous trade-off between your cost, your accessibility needs, and your desired luxury.